Hey everybody, we wanted to provide some updates on some of our exposure reporting, specific platforms that we've created, and then some others that we've tweaked to create a more friendly user interface for everybody out there. So specifically, we've created chemical exposure reporting. This is, of course, for hazmat, any type of hazmat situation. And more importantly, this is also for anybody out there, any crews out there that are exposed to specific chemicals, not specific to smoke exposure reporting that we'll cover here in a sec. But if you've come across a chemical, you weren't aware of it until 3, 4, 5 minutes into an incident, it's important that we have the ability to document those as well. So specific to smoke exposure reporting, we've already had that user interface, we've already had that platform, your capability to do smoke exposures, but we've changed that a little bit. We've made it more user-friendly, and then we've added chemicals. So specific to the chemicals, and why we're adding those is because if you look at the presumptive cancer law, which is Arizona Revised Statute 23-901.01, so you can look that up, and you'll identify within the specific requirements that we have to meet the presumptive cancer law, there's a sentence in there that says the IRC's table. And basically we need to show a causal link between the chemical and the exposure, and then of course the cancer for that. So this is going to help us further document and get a little bit more in depth on that documentation process that will, of course, work in our favor. So it's going to show the product of combustion and specific chemicals that are associated with that, and this is all driven off of the IRC's table. And then specific to lift exposures, which is another platform that we've now created, this is important because oftentimes an injury is created not from the specific event that we are doing, like bending over to pick up a bolt, and we've actually had those injuries for backs. Somebody herniated their back doing that, and it's really hard to show that that bolt created herniation in 3 discs. So what we're doing with the lift exposure is anytime you're lifting an object or a patient, and we've got a nice little platform that Ben's gonna cover, then you can document that exposure for yourself. All of these are just timestamps. So if you're concerned about going to modify duty or whatever the case is, just remember, this is just a timestamp. Nothing happens with workers' comp until you go to occupational health, which is our banner facilities right now. That creates a workers' comp claim number, and then that's where you're put on a work status or potentially a changed work status. So.
Perfect. Well, we'll go over those different platforms and how each of them works so that you guys can see the functionality of it.